Hi, welcome to Creativity Inside and Out. I'm sitting here with Marty McCambridge, and she is the guest on this show. And we are in this beautiful Lincoln Stegman Theater at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in North Hollywood. And she's done a lot of shows here. We'll talk about that. I want to say thank you, first of all, for watching the show or listening to the show, and for subscribing if you've already subscribed. If you haven't yet, please do. I think there are, and this is going to date this show, but I think we're at like 67 subscribers now, and we need 1,000. So if you could pitch in on that, I'd really appreciate it. That would be great. So in the last show, we were with Pilar Walsh, and she talked about her scripts and her books, and then she made some jewelry for us, which was amazing. In this show, Marty is going to share with us her life and her stories. You are an actor, a singer,
musician,
voiceover
person,
writer, screenwriter, or playwright.
Both.
It would be. Yeah. She's done so many things, and we'll talk about that in her life. And then she'll do some performances for us. So here we go. Hello, we are here with Marty McCambridge, a very dear friend of mine and a very talented person. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
It's nice to be here.
It's fun to be here. It's fun to be here in this theater.
Yeah, and we are in the Lincoln Stegman Theater at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in North Hollywood, California. And you can see, this is not a real fireplace. This is a set fireplace that we're in front of. It's not real cozy warm right now. So there we go. So it's great to have you. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah. So we start every show with how we first met.
Oh, how we first met. It was a gradual. It was theater.
Yeah.
It was theater. You came to see a show, and then we were in a show together.
We were.
And we, little by little, were getting to know each other.
Right. And that show was called Song of America.
Right.
It was a music show. It was
musical review.
It was a musical review.
Yeah.
All patriotic songs.
Tried to do that every summer for a while. Yeah.
Right. And then we also did a cabaret together.
That's where we really connected, I think.
Yeah. We sang Let It Be.
Yeah.
Together.
Perfect harmony.
It was.
Hey, wait, there's a song.
And Summer Sounds at 7 we did too.
Oh, yeah. Hoping to do another one, something like that, coming up.
Right. This was all at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, and Marty sang solo in that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I had a girl group at the time that I was singing with called Girl Crush, and we did all 50s and 60s girl group songs, which those songs are really short too, so we did a whole bunch of songs and it was only like 20 minutes total.
Yes. It's funny how short they realize.
They are. So let's talk about where you grew up a little bit, and family and stuff.
Oh dear. I was born in Los Angeles. I grew up in Los Angeles until we moved to the Valley, San Fernando Valley. And then I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I have not moved
in
much.
Los Angeles.
Yes, I have not strayed far from my original place of birth. So yeah, I was a Valley girl, and until I moved to Sandpoint, Idaho for a brief stint.
That was a change.
That was a big change, but it was beautiful up there.
Yeah.
And then I moved back here, and that's when I met Michael.
Your husband?
My husband, my current husband. And we started doing this theater. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole story in a nutshell.
And siblings?
I have 2 sisters and a half brother and a half sister.
Okay.
And I live real close to my sister right now. We do exercise together 3 times a week.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we're very, very close. I'm very family oriented.
I was just going to say that, and you post pictures on Facebook and stuff, and it's a big family.
I have a picture.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 3 daughters and 11 grandchildren.
11 grandchildren?
And 1 granddaughter-in-law.
Okay.
That's one of my grandsons got married.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is that's
So
why those
I could
pictures
be a
have so many.
great grandma.
You are?
I could. It could happen
Very soon.
anytime. It hasn't
Don't hold your
happened yet.
breath.
And I'm not encouraging Gage to do anything, but
All right. That'll be kind of weird, huh? To be a great grandma?
yeah, I don't think I, qualify for that. But
Yeah.
apparently I do.
Right. Right. And let's go to, and you said you have how many daughters?
3.
3 total. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to when you started singing and playing instruments, plural.
I've been singing and playing all my life.
Yeah.
Since I was very little. One of the little bits from my show is when I was in the hospital. It's kind of funny. My mother was walking down the hall and she heard me singing.
When you were little?
I was 5, and I was in the hospital with a broken leg and the measles. And and I was singing the song from Snow White. And in my mind, I was singing to the birds and the animals, because I love birds and animals.
Like Snow White did.
I'm sure I was on some medication. but I was singing, and my mother came down the hall. She's like, what is she doing? And I told her I was singing out the window. Later on, she told me, there was no window in your room.
There was to you.
I don't know. So since I was very little, it was, sing, sing, sing all the time. And I played, I took piano lessons as a child. And my father, one Christmas, finally got me a guitar. I'd been begging and begging. Of course, I was a Beatle maniac. And I had to have a guitar, and he got me one. But it was not a great one. And but I learned to play.
Yeah.
And I've been playing, because it's hard to carry a piano around.
It is.
So
and you can do an electronic piano, but they're not the same.
No.
Yeah.
So the guitar was much easier to tout, So I learned to play, and then from then on I was in groups,
Did you take lessons?
No. I took piano lessons, not guitar.
Not guitar.
I taught myself, yeah. My father could play anything. He could play by ear, any instrument.
That's a gift to be able to do that.
It was amazing. He could. If you mention a song you wanted him to play, he'd go. So yeah, I always wanted to be able to play like him, and I'm not that good, but So then I was in country band, and mostly country bands for a long time.
In California?
In
LA?
California and Idaho. Yeah. And then I did musicals. Theatrical musicals. All through high school, and then when we started this theater, there it was. It was a perfect place for me to do my musicals.
Right.
So yeah, now I'm in a jazz band.
It's called?
I play the Mad Hatters. It's called the Mad Hatters. It's kind of along the lines of Spike Jones.
And Spike Jones.
For those of you who don't remember.
How do we describe Spike Jones?
I don't know.
My parents had
Monty
Spike Jones.
Python.
Oh, there you go.
He would be the Monty Python of his day, I think. He just wacky.
Right.
Just wacky stuff. They would, wah, wah, wah. And
I remember there were, even on the albums, vinyl records, there were knock-knock jokes.
Yeah.
And I still remember them, like, knock, knock.
Who's there?
I said I remember them now. UCLA.
UCLA who?
UCLA when the smog lifts. That was one.
That was Spike Jones.
Yeah.
Spike Jones and his band, and they were just madcap. You know, they did crazy instruments with foghorns and just all kinds of
That's
crazy
true. They did have foghorns.
And
so your band is kind of nutty like
we
that?
We do a lot of nutty stuff. The guys have crazy hats that they wear, hence the Mad Hatters. They like to change their hats up a lot. And I'm singing chestnuts roasting and turkey, and he's wearing a turkey hat, and I'm like, I have to just go.
You just go with it.
Because, this is a lovely song, and they're making.
And you sing and play banjo.
I do, but it's kind of cheating because it's a 6-string banjo. So it's tuned the same as a guitar.
How many strings do banjos usually
have 5
or
4.
I don't know this.
Yeah, so they're tuned totally differently. So you have to learn different fingering.
Oh, but yours you can do the same chords as a guitar.
So it doesn't have quite the same, effect as a true banjo.
Right.
But it gives you that chunka.
And we will see that banjo later too. And we'll hear it.
It's a pretty little banjo.
Pretty little banjo. Now you've covered a lot of ground there, so let's break this down a little bit. First of all, let's talk about this theater here.
ELATE.
ELATE, which stands for?
Emmanuel Lutheran Actors Theater Ensemble. And yeah, it was started 40 years ago. Whew.
Seems like yesterday, right?
I can't believe it, yeah. We were doing shows across the street at the school, Laurel Hall School, on their stage. And we were doing fundraisers for teachers and things like that. And
you said you did Godspell?
Yeah, we did Godspell, we did Grease, and we did, things like that. And they would be like dinners. They would have people come in and buy a dinner and have dinner and watch a show.
We should do that again. Okay, go ahead.
I know.
Yeah.
And we got kind of excited about the fact that we had enough people interested in it that maybe we should be doing this. Mm-hmm. Because across the street there's a proper stage, huge,
it's kind of like it's a school cafeteria basically,
right,
with a stage at one end.
Yeah.
And the kitchen at the other end.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have the wings, and they have the curtain, and they have everything. So but we didn't know if people would really want to take the work that it takes to put on a big musical like that.
Especially like Grease. That's a production.
Right. We had a car on the stage.
You did?
We did the whole 9 yards, yeah. A friend of ours had a shell of a little MG. Yeah.
So that sufficed. That was, what is it, Greased Lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's where they sat when they did the drive-in theater. Anyway, so we did crazy stuff like that. And it took off like gang fire. So we said, well, we need to organize this because we need to have a team that we can count on to do lighting, and you can't just have the prima donnas on the stage. You got to have the people in the background. And we did. We got a really good crackerjack team doing sound and lights and all that stuff, and set building. We had parents involved, and it was fantastic. So we did many shows over there, big time shows. We did Guys and Dolls. We did Oliver. We did, and we also did dramas.
Yeah.
Which, I did miracle
And you said the
worker.
kids from the school,
we would
Laurel Hall School, were involved too.
Well, sure. If there was a kid's part, we opened it up to anybody who wanted to audition. Mm-hmm. And that was the other thing. It was Michael, my husband, is the one that really got it going, and his goal, and still to this day, is getting people to do something they didn't think they could.
That is a great goal. Oh my gosh.
So it was a safe place. You could come and experiment with lighting, come help, we'll show you how to do this, we'll show you how to do that. And if you just want to be on stage, we'll show you how to do that. And you let people try their hand at directing for the first time, and it was really good. It's really,
still kind of like that.
It is. It's continued with that model. And so we did, oh gosh, I've lost track of all the shows I did personally, but they did,
You said Bye Bye Birdie was one,
we
too?
did Bye Bye Birdie. I was Rosie. We did, I said Oliver. We did,
Yeah.
oh gosh.
So what made you decide then to bring the shows to this theater?
Well, there were some people who wanted to do some smaller ones, and there was always some conflict with the school. Scheduling-wise. It was hard sometimes to, we couldn't get in because they were doing a program or whatever, and they came over here, and here's this, it was a lecture hall. It used to be just a lecture hall. This stage was like this tall. It was just a platform. And there was a blackboard on the back wall. And there were bucket seats here with little half desks.
Really?
Yeah.
And like a classroom setting.
It was a classroom. It was a lecture hall. And so they came over here and they said, I bet we could put on a show here. Mickey Rooney, let's put on a show. So they did. They put on a show. They built a set. And then little by little, they did things like they raised the stage. And a theater went out of business, and we got the theater seats from them for a decent price. And little by little, we've built, racks of lights, and it's just grown into this really nice little theater down here.
It's beautiful. And it's in a basement, so no one would ever even think it's down here.
Yeah, most people don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny to bring people here and open that door and then go downstairs and they're going, what is this?
And in California, you don't have basements hardly anywhere.
No, that's the other thing.
Yeah. We don't put in
we have
anything
the
underground.
Best parking of anybody. I mean, you can park.
That's true.
Right outside the door.
That's true.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, that's a really good point, too, because a lot of theaters you have to park blocks away.
Or pay.
That, too. Yeah.
We haven't hit that yet, and I think we need to think about that. Anyway, so yeah, we've done some small musicals, like that's where we do the musical reviews a lot of times here.
We have had, though, I remember in Song of America, we had like 40 people on stage.
Yes.
Yeah. It was full. I won't say it was crowded. It was full.
It was full. Well, if you take off that back wall, you can go back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Quite a ways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
So yeah, but we've done a lot of really, really good theater here. Wait Until Dark and
Drood.
Well, Drood was across the street. Drood was a big time musical. It was across the street. Oh. That was the last big musical we did across the street.
Oh, right. I'm thinking of another one. That's not the one that our friend Brad directed. There was another one over here that was with the ghost and the seance.
Blithe Spirit.
That's it, Blithe Spirit. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Blithe Spirit, we did that here. And we do a lot of like that, Bell Book and Candle, and a lot of the old time theater stuff.
Yeah, old radio shows.
And then we do
radio shows.
Try to do that maybe every other year. We do a radio show where we have actual scripts from the shows in the 30s and 40s.
I've been in the last one that we did. I sang with the Girl Crush group. We got together. We sang the commercials like they used to do in 3-part harmony.
Yep.
It was really fun. It was fun. Really fun.
And my husband and I were George and Gracie.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, and that's perfect casting. Perfect.
I don't know, take that call.
Let's talk about acting a little bit. And like I said, forgive me, we're going to jump around a bit.
That's okay.
Okay, let's talk about acting. You've taken a lot of acting classes.
I've taken, like I said, I've been doing, I was lucky enough to go to Laurel Hall as a child, and they have a wonderful theater program. They've always had a wonderful theater program. And so I was in that, and just being on stage and doing the job, you learn, firsthand. But then in high school, again, I took drama. And then finally when we moved back here, I took classes in Santa Monica, real, like, be the tree classes.
And who was your coach?
My coach, my teacher
Your
was
teacher.
Leo Rossi.
Ah.
He's an actor that you might recognize from some
Mm-hmm.
Heart Like a Wheel and some other.
Yeah.
More recently, Analyze This
Oh, okay.
with Robert De Niro and Billy
All
Crystal. Yeah. Anyway, that's where you'd see him, and
Yeah.
he was wonderful. I took from him for like well over a year, 2 years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest thing you took out of those classes? Can you pinpoint something?
Confidence.
Oh,
I don't have a lot of confidence. I'm not. Yeah, I'm.
that's surprising to me.
I know. It's very. Most people don't know that I'm extremely shy.
Oh.
Extremely shy. Get me in a room with a bunch of people, and you'll see me in the corner, waiting for somebody to come talk to me.
Oh my gosh! Because you've done so much on stage.
That's not me.
It's acting.
That's
It's
somebody
character.
else. Somebody else. So yeah, I've done. That's just the confidence that I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That and the ability to let go of the inhibitions of whatever and
Yeah.
be that other person.
Yeah. My acting coach, Maria Gobetti at the Victory Theater
Yeah.
in Burbank, California, she used to say when we would be up doing improvs in particular on stage, she would say, how far are you willing to go?
Yeah.
Because we all tend to hold back and not say what we're thinking,
Right.
right? Not do what we want to do.
Exactly.
And she would say, how far are you, she'd shout it out of the seats, how far are you willing to go, right?
True.
And I go,
That's true.
and it was almost like a challenge.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, you're on, Maria.
I'm going there.
Yeah.
I'm going there.
Yeah.
That Leo was like that too. He
Yeah.
would be very, he would ask me to do things that I was uncomfortable with.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes it was hard.
It was really hard.
It was hard. But yeah, I got a lot of confidence from that.
Yeah. And when we were talking yesterday, you talked about something you saw about actors talking about preparing for characters.
Oh yeah.
But
becoming the character and then letting it go. That's hard.
And that's something I was never taught, letting it go. It takes me a good 24 hours to let go of a character.
It could take me a week.
Seriously?
Just ask Mike. I've been some characters. He said when I was the opium princess in Drood, he said that one hung around a long time.
Because that character is...
She was fun. I think that's what it was. She was just fun. She was so out there and so crazy.
a free spirit
And
kind
yeah, and I was like, that's not me. Let's be that for a while.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I just was having fun with it.
They do tend to give you those roles too. You play those roles. I don't say they give them to you, but you play those roles. You have the wacky...
The ability to be crazy.
Yeah, which is fun.
Which is so opposite me. That's why it's really fun. Yeah, there's been some, like when I was Rosie in Bye Bye Birdie, it was not me. It was, and she was hard. That was hard to do because she was straight, very straight. I was like, don't ever give me the straight ingenue again. Boring.
I can't do it. I don't want
boring.
to do it.
It's just, I did it. I thought I did pretty well, but it was boring. I like the crazy parts.
And that's what I love, I think, most about acting, is you get to be someone you would not be in real life. It's almost like taking that childhood thing of where you play house or whatever it is, and you take on a character. Right. I'm going to be the mommy. I'm going to be, the school teacher, whatever it is.
Perfect mommy, too. My children are all perfect.
Right.
They never do anything wrong.
No, they're angels.
And my husband comes home every night, and we have a wonderful dinner.
I'm home, honey. Right.
Well, that's the other thing I got to do. We do a lot of stage readings, where we just read plays.
With ELATE.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And plays that we can't possibly do because there's period costumes and there's just too much to do, or we just don't have the people, the kind of people that can do it. So, but we do a stage reading, it doesn't matter. You just all wear black and you all get up and read the play.
Right.
And I got to do Pygmalion. I would never get to do Pygmalion, you know? The whole Cockney thing and the whole turning into My Fair Lady. Oh, it was so fun. I just had such a great time. I get to ELATE gives you that opportunity to do things that you would never get to do.
Ever do. Yeah. I love that about. And what did they say about, I'm curious, did they say how you can get out of character after you're in
Some
character?
people say that they did, in their classes, they have exercises apparently to help you let go of those.
All right.
Those demons that you carry out of the show.
Those demons.
Well, and it's literally a physical thing because
yes,
you get adrenaline run, you know, every night. The adrenaline just kicks in and you're on a high. And you do this every night. Eventually, it's like, I need my fix. There's no show.
Yeah,
what am I going to do?
It's like you deflate.
So there is a physical thing. It's not even totally emotional. There's literally a physical thing.
Right, with the adrenaline.
My granddaughter did that. She was in a show, and she was in 2 shows in a row. She was running back and forth, and then it was over, and she was like, "Mom, I'm so depressed." And she said, "Well, there's a show over here you could audition for. They only do 2 weekends. It's not enough."
She said that.
So it's. I told my daughter, I said, "Be careful. You know, it's an addiction."
I remember one time I saw Madonna on an interview after she got back from a tour, and she said the same thing. She said, "It's not just that I'm tired, you know, from traveling and, you know, doing all these shows." She said, "It's just I'm coming down from it, you know." Yeah. It's interesting. There's so much people don't know about being an actor and what it takes mentally, physically,
right,
confidence-wise, you know, everything to do it, and it's just so much fun.
It could also affect the family. I know one time we were doing a show. We were about to do a show, and it was Oliver, and I was going to be the Nancy, which is a big part, main part, right? And I went to my kids, who were at that time like 6 and 8 or something, you know, and I said, "I'm going to do this, and it's going to take me away from home a lot. And I won't do it if you guys really don't want me to." I was at that point where I wanted them to know that I loved them more than the show.
Right. And you wanted them to say it's okay.
I was hoping they would say. My daughter put her hand on my knee and said, "Mom, you're happier when you're doing a show."
Really? Okay. Oh, that's interesting that she had observed that. Yeah. So you did Oliver.
So I did
as
Oliver.
we know, yeah, because they gave you their blessing to go and do it. What other theaters have you performed in LA? And you've done music in Idaho too.
Well, that was band.
The band stuff, yeah, that
clubs
wasn't acting.
and stuff, yeah. I did. I've done work. I did a melodrama in Moore Park. Did a melodrama in Sierra Madre. I'm big on the melodramas. You know.
They would be fun. Yeah. They used to do them at Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
In Buena Park in California, theme park.
Yeah. I've done a couple shows at Glendale Center,
okay.
which is changing now. I've done a show out in Conejo Valley Theater.
Right.
Lots of community theater.
Right. How fun. You have such a history of theater. It's nutty. You've got so much. So much. It's beautiful.
I've taken...
And let's talk about voiceover.
I was just going to say, we are so simpatico. I've taken voiceover classes as well with several people. Gordon Jump and Jenny Tyler, who is a Mickey Mouse person. And that was always my dream. I wanted to be a voiceover person because I can do all kinds of voices if you want me
like animation voices too.
I could do animation voices till the house come home. Yeah, I did a reading for you one time, and you said, "But you can't sustain that." But yes, I can.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah.
I'll read you a
You
whole
can't do that for as long as you need to do it. And you did say that. That's right. I remember that.
That's what I do. That's what I.
Yeah.
One time, I was reading a story to Jocelyn, it was Lindsay, my youngest, and it was this is a perfect character. Okay. And so the boy went to the store, and she went, "Stop it, Mommy, stop it." She didn't like it because it wasn't me anymore.
Oh.
It scared her.
You know, that's kind of like the Renaissance Fair here in LA. The Renaissance Fair is a Renaissance fair.
Right.
Yeah, it freaks me out. Even though I'm an actor, it totally freaks me out because people aren't normal.
No, they aren't. They take it very seriously.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you got to stop that now.
Stop what, milady?
Exactly. And they're like, no, don't do that. That's weird. You know?
I don't know what you're talking about. This is perfectly normal for me.
Right. I
can't be anybody else.
Let's take a break here.
Okay.
It's a good place to take a break. And when we come back, I can speak really. When we come back, we're going to talk about In the House of Paper Flowers.
Oh, fun.
Where she did voiceover. And it's a beautiful thing. So we will take a break here. Check back on this channel, Creativity Inside and Out. And we will see you soon.